Hey, teacher friends. Hey, guys. How's it going? I'm so glad to be here. My name is Kara Rickman. I am the founder of Create Your Balance with Literacy. So excited to be here with y'all today, and I'm so excited my technology is working. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Tamara. Welcome to my free webinar all about cross-curricular fun for May. I can't believe we're already here, guys. I mean, y'all, this year has just flown by, right? I mean, I can't believe it's already going to be May this week. So I cannot wait to share with you all of my fun cross-curricular activities for May. And so come on in and say hi and tell me where you're from. Hi, Janina. Hi, Carol. Hi. You guys are always here with me. So I'm so excited y'all are here. Thank you so much. So let's get this party started, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about me because I know we have a lot of new teachers in our Facebook group now. This month, we've added lots of new members. So, like I said, my name is Kara Rickman. I have been teaching for 24 years. I am GT and ESL certified. I have taught 5 years in third grade and 19 years in first grade. Absolutely love first grade. It's my passion. I have been team leader for 12 years. I have been a K through 2 trainer in my district. I teach in Bernie ISD, which is a rural community north of San Antonio in the Texas Hill Country. And I've given trainings for my fellow teachers for writer's workshop, reader's workshop, math workshop, behavior management. And I am now going to be giving a boot camp this summer, which I'm so excited about. I'm going to tell you guys more information in just a second. I have been a Seesaw ambassador, and on the side, I am a flute and piano instructor, and I sing. And so I do a lot of singing with my kids. They absolutely love it. So, Tamara says she's from Indiana. Awesome. These are pictures of my family. I have had the privilege and honor of teaching both of my daughters, Kennedy and Presley, in my first grade class. You're going to see a lot of pictures of them today. It was the blessing to have them in my class. And hi, Janina. I know you're from Texas. Woohoo! And I have been, these are pictures of my family and me giving some trainings in my district. So if you guys are showing up live today, if you'll go to scroll up to the comments to a Google Drive form, and this is a freebie for you guys to download today. So in the comments, it says Google Drive, and it is a free download for you guys. It is Under the Sea, and this is a project that I do with my kids when we start talking about oceans and sea life, and you can have them color all of the ocean animals and the labels, and then we read the story, I Wonder Why the Sea is Salty. And so in that book, it shows all the different land, volcanoes and trenches and plains under the ocean. And so we talk about the different parts of the bottom, and then they label it, and then we color it. And this is so cute. They can write a story about it also. And it can go in your hallway for the end of the year for oceans and sea life. So you guys can go ahead and click on that Google Drive link. Is at the top of the comments, so scroll all the way up to the very, very top, and you can download it for free. So this is only for the live webinar. So if you're just coming on, go ahead and click on that link, and then you can download this freebie for you guys, okay? So if you love what I'm sharing with you today and you want more, stay tuned to the end because you could have a chance to join my Cross-Curricular Connections membership subscription, where all of your lesson plans, resources are already made for you so you can take back your weekends. Because I know that teachers work so hard. I am a full-time teacher myself, and I do all of this on the side, plus my teaching. And so you have to find a balance, right? So I am dedicated to helping you guys taking back your weekends and your evenings for yourself, okay? So just FYI, if my face freezes on camera, my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow, and so you will still hear my voice, but my face might freeze. Okay, so don't worry, it is okay. It'll come back on. It is okay. So, Janina says she's so excited for the boot camp. Yay, Janina! I am too. This is gonna be so fabulous. So you guys have a chance to sign up on my wait list. And I know a lot of you already have done that. So thank you for doing that. It does not cost you anything to sign up on the wait list. However, if you want to get into the boot camp, it is $25 for a one-time payment. So I have not sent out anything yet about this. I'm just getting you guys aware, and I'm getting the buzz out there so you guys know what is going to be happening in June. So this boot camp is all about the first 5 days of school. It is back to school things. Okay, so I'm going to give 6 live trainings. I'm going to be having a private Facebook group, not this Facebook group. It's going to be a different one that is only a temporary Facebook group. That's where I'm going to be doing all my live trainings. So it's going to be a lot like this. It's going to be set up just like this webinar, but 6 days of live trainings, and you get 6 CPE hours worth of professional development for the upcoming school year. Okay. So this video that I'm going to share with you right now, this is what I'm going to be doing during the boot camp, okay? And also, if you want to sign up on my wait list, if you have not signed up yet, I would love to have you sign up. And this is just an awareness, okay? You haven't paid for anything yet. In May, which is going to be next week, I'm going to be sending out some emails, okay? I need your email address so I can send out an email for all of the information, so you know where to pay and all that good stuff, okay? So the form is also in the comments. So if you scroll up towards the top of the comments, you'll see another Google form link, okay? That is the link that you can sign up for my wait list, okay? So I would love to have you sign up. So this is going to be a quick little video of my boot camp, okay?
Hi K-2 teachers, this is Kara Rickman from Create Your Balance with Literacy. Did you know that I'm giving a back to school boot camp from June 24th to 29th called Empowering Connection? You don't want to miss this boot camp. You will get 6 hours of live trainings with Q&A, 6 hours of CPE credit, unlimited access to resources, gift card giveaways, a one-time payment of $25, and a free mentor text for your classroom. Training number 1 is all about classroom systems, organizing your classroom, your teacher table, storing the student supplies. Training number 2 is all about the first 5 days of Reader's Workshop, how to get your ELA block off the ground using I Do, We Do, and You Do, anchor charts, mentor text, and interactive notebooks. Training number 3 is all about Writer's Workshop, how to get ELA block off the ground using I Do, We Do, You Do, rigor and relevance, mentor text, anchor charts, and interactive notebooks. Training number 4 is the first 5 days of Math Workshop, how to get your math block off the ground using your calendar, components of your math curriculum, quick easy exit tickets, differentiation, and more. Training number 5 is the first 5 days of science, ideas for your first science unit using rigor and relevance, mentor text, writing activities, and how to set up your science center. Training number 6 is all about building relationships with students and parents, how to have effective morning meeting ideas with your students, how to teach conflict resolution, and how to have impactful first impression at Naked Teacher Night. All of this can be yours if you sign up on my wait list. You will receive an email with more information as the time gets closer. Until next time, let's take your classroom to the next level.
Hi. All right, so hopefully you guys can sign up on that link that I just sent in the comments. So I am so excited, and I know that a lot of you guys that are watching today have already signed up, so that's awesome. So look out for the email probably next week, okay? So you can sign up. So if you guys are commenting today, you could win either one of these 3 resources, okay? So you could win Once Upon a Time, which is my fairy tale writing unit. This is absolutely one of my most favorite units of all, okay? So starting this week, I'm going to be starting fairy tales with my kids. And so this is my writing unit where they write their very own fairy tale. They take their fairy tale through the whole writing process. It has anchor charts. It has interactive notebooks. It has writing templates. It has suggested mentor text for every single lesson. It has about 30 days worth of lessons. It goes through all of the reading and writing skills for the whole year. It's kind of like a bundle of everything that you've already taught, all into fairy tales. It is so fun. My kids love it. So you could win that one if you're commenting, okay? Or if you really love teaching rocks and fossils and soil, this unit is for you. It's called Rockin' Inside the Earth. It's a thematic unit all about inside the earth. So it's got rocks, it's got soil, it has fossils, it has volcanoes, it has types of soil, all different science investigations and experiments that you can do with rocks and fossils. It is fabulous, okay? A lot of hands-on stuff for your kiddos. Or you could win Ocean Commotion, which is another thematic unit that I wrote all about oceans and sea life. So it's got the lesson plans, suggested mentor text, anchor charts, interactive notebooks, writing craftivities, tons of hands-on, interactive, engaging activities with oceans and sea life. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of these things with you today. If I call your name, then you can win one of these 3 resources. And then after the webinar is over, I will send you this resource through Facebook Messenger. Okay, so just FYI, if you are in the membership, I know Janina said she loves the membership. Thank you, Janina. Yes, that's amazing. I'm so glad you love it. If you're in the membership, everything that I am sharing with you today is already in the membership, and it's under May Resources. So you guys already have all this in your membership, okay? And so I'm going to share everything is in the membership. If you're interested in purchasing the membership, stay tuned to the end because I have a way for you to join, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and select my first winner today. So our first winner is going to be Brandy Jones. Yay, Brandy. Okay, so Brandy, let me know which resource you would like from that list of those 3 resources, okay? And so you could you could message it to me, or you can comment below, whatever you need. So congratulations, Brandy. Yay! Okay, so we are going to talk about May. May has a lot of different things, a lot of different avenues that you could take for May. I'm not saying that you have to do all of these things. No. Okay, these are just ideas. These are just suggestions, and it depends on how much time you have. I know May is jam-packed full of assemblies and guest speakers and field trips, okay? All kinds of things going on. So you just have to pick and choose. So you could definitely do Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is coming up soon, okay? You can do ocean and beach, ocean and sea life. You can do rocks and fossils. You can do fairy tales for ELA. You can do end of year, graduation, memory books type things. For your author study, you can either do Charles Perrault, Hans Christian Andersen, or the Grimm brothers, because those are the 3 fairy tale authors that I connect with fairy tales. So in my author study right now, I have Hans Christian Andersen. And so I have all the fairy tale books that he wrote. And so I kind of connect those together. So these are just some ideas, okay? Now, I don't spend the whole month on just ocean and beach. So what I do is I flip-flop between rocks and fossils and ocean and beach. So 2 weeks for rocks and fossils, and then 2 weeks for ocean and beach at the very, very end, okay? So that's what I do. And the whole month I do fairy tales. But there's so much you can do with fairy tales. Like I said, it's a cumulative review for the whole year, okay? So speaking of fairy tales, these are some of the fairy tale books that I love to read. So Princess and the Pea, that's by Hans Christian Andersen. Beauty and the Beast, The Frog Prince, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, Rapunzel, The Snow Queen is also by Hans Christian Andersen. The Ugly Duckling is also by Hans Christian Andersen. Puss in Boots, Snow White, and then Anne Isabel tells a good one. So you can start with this one. Okay, this is what I recommend. I would like to recommend starting with Anne Isabel tells a good one, because this is kind of like an overview of what a fairy tale is. Okay, what does a good fairy tale need to have? A good fairy tale needs to have story elements. They need to have character, setting, problem, solution. Okay. And so we make this craftivity with the castle. This is super cute to put in your hallway, okay? So you can have them do the story elements. At the bottom, there's a book that they can color on the bottom of the project. And there's a link on this picture. So after the webinar is over, I'm going to upload it into our Facebook group. You can click on any of these pictures. It'll take you straight to the resource, okay? So you can check it out. And then they color their castle. And like I said, it's just a great overview of what a fairy tale has, okay? However, the story is kind of lengthy, okay? So you might need to make sure you have enough time to read the story. It takes a good 10 minutes to read it, okay? And so then you could have them do all these different activities with Aunt Isabel Tells a Good One. So let me go back to this wall right here. This is my publishing wall. And so remember I said that I have my kids take a fairy tale through the writing process, okay? They are adding all of the skills that I have already taught them for the whole year. They're adding adjectives. They're adding prepositions. They're using pronouns. They're using nouns. They're using verbs. They're using contractions. They're using compound words. All of the grammar skills that I've taught them are going to be in this story. So it shows me what all they have retained and made connections with throughout the whole year. And while I'm reading stories to them during reading time, they're making connections with the fairy tale stories. And then during writing time, they are working on their own fairy tale. Now, you can do this two different ways. You can have them retell a fairy tale that they love. So if they love Puss in Boots, they love Cinderella, they love Rapunzel, they can write those books. They can write those stories. They can retell the story in their own words. This is such a good practice for them because we talk about plagiarism. We talk about copyright. You cannot copy word for word from the author, what the author wrote. You have to put it in their own words and in your own words. And this is where all the skills that you've already taught them come into play. So the adjectives that you've taught them, the pronouns, the prepositions, okay, they have to use all of those things. I've also taught my kids dialogue. What is dialogue? I've also taught them onomatopoeia, okay? So they're going to be using as many of those as they can. And I have a checklist in the writing unit of all these different things that they have to use, okay? So this is my publishing wall. Whenever they publish their book goes on the publishing wall. And so you can see all the different fairy tales that they've written. This was my class from last year. And so they each get a pocket chart. They get a pocket on the bulletin board. And these are magnetic pockets from Lakeshore. I love these things. They can go anywhere on magnetic boards. And so I just put the book inside. Whenever one book gets published, the old book comes down. And I just keep switching them out all year long. They love this wall because they're so proud to see their published book up on the wall. They get a gold sticker. They get a Caldecott Award. And so then they get to read it to the class. We get to ask questions about it, and they get to give compliments and suggestions, and they just love writing these books. They tell me that writing time is their favorite time of the day. Their passion is writing. They love writing. So if just FYI, in the boot camp, I'm going to be teaching you the first 5 days of Writer's Workshop, how I hook my kids into reading and writing, okay? This is my theme center. If you want to have a fairy tale theme center, this is what it looks like. So I have posters up there that talk about the different story elements of a fairy tale. And then I have puzzles. I have books that they can read. I have a puppet show they can put on with little puppets. I have a plastic castle that they can play with plastic characters. All different kinds of hands-on fairy tale things. So I usually do this at the very, very beginning of May. I switch it out between this one and then Rocks and Fossils. So, it depends on how much time you have to get, if you want to do all of this stuff. So that's my fairy tale theme center. Okay. These are some writing craftivities you can also do during your Reader's Workshop block. If you want to have them write about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you can have them do sequencing, first, then next, last, or Little Red Riding Hood, first, then next, last. If you want to do Jack and the Beanstalk, they can make a castle with a beanstalk vine. They can glue on beans on the beanstalk. And then they can write about synonyms for big, large, giant, colossal, huge. And they can write about different synonyms for big. And then if they want to write about, if I had a fairy godmother, what would I wish for? Okay, so they can write about that after you read Cinderella. So this is all in that Once Upon a Time fairy tale writing unit. So I already showed you about Aunt Isabel Tells a Good One, and I just told you about that. And then these are my fairy tale sequencing foldables. I love sequencing foldables. I know some of you guys on here have already used them and you love them. So what you do is you take a big rectangle construction paper and you fold it hot dog style. And then on the front, you're going to cut 4 slits in the front, okay? And then they're going to decorate the front. And you can do this with any story, okay? You can also do this with life cycles. First, then, next, and last, okay? So on the cover, they're decorating the cover according to the story. And then on the inside, you flip it up. On the inside, they're doing the sequencing. So you could have them glue the pictures that I already have in the resource. Or I also have blank ones. They can draw and color their own picture for first, then, next, last. They can also write their own sentences, or they can glue in the ones that I already have in there for you. So it's editable, so where the kids can do their own. And there's blank ones. But this one up here is Cinderella, so you can see the cover of Cinderella. I just love this one. And then you can flip it up, and then you can see the inside right here. This one on the blue one is Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and then they make Goldilocks' hair. So they take the yellow strips, and then they curl them to make her hair. And then this one is Little Red Riding Hood, and then the bottom is Princess and the Pea. So this is actually a bundle, okay? This is a separate bundle from the fairy tale writing resource. It's called My Sequencing Foldables for Fairy Tales, okay? Or if you want to continue doing Reader's Theater, I'm going to start Reader's Theater again, and it's going to be a review. So now that my kids are reading better, they are able to read better with their Reader's Theater. So I'm going to have them make puppets. I'm going to put them into groups, and they're going to make puppets for their show. They're going to make the hats if we have time, but normally I just have time for the puppets. So I meet with them every single day during reading time, and we practice our play for a couple of weeks, and then we perform the play for the whole class, okay? You could have the students perform this for another first grade class or another class that's next door to you, your neighbor, or you can invite the parents to come in and listen to their play, or you can invite other teachers and admin to come in and listen to them. So it's really up to you, but you're having them connect all the different skills that you've taught them already this year. So they're reading with expression, they're reading with fluency, they're reading with intonation. And they're able to sustain longer times of reading because they're older, they're more mature, hopefully. And what better way to do this with fairy tales? I mean, it is so fun and it's so exciting, and the stories are just so fun and engaging and exciting. So they really get into it. So this is also a bundle. You click on the picture, it'll take you to my fairy tale. It's actually called Folktale Reader's Theater Bundle, okay? So in that bundle, I have Reader's Theater for Little Red Riding Hood, the Three Bears, the Billy Goat's Gruff, Gingerbread Man, Goldilocks, Big Bad Wolf, all of these different fairy tales. So, and you could have your teachers put on a play for your kids. So this is what we do. We record ourselves with our hats, and this is Chicken Little. We recorded ourselves reading Chicken Little last year, and so we recorded it, and then we play it for the kids as kind of like an introduction to our fairy tale writing unit. So you can have your teachers put on a show for your kids. Really fun. All right, and then this is my anchor chart that's called Fairy Tales, and what I do is whenever I read a story, I get a mixing bowl and I get a wand that has a star at the top, and I mix the magic. Y'all, this is so fun. If you've never done this, this is so fun. So what you do is, in this resource, you have these cards of story element cards. Good characters, bad characters, the magic, what happened in threes, problem and solution, setting. So you have these cards cut up, and then you hold up the card. After you read the story, then you ask them to answer the question. Who are the good characters? Okay. Then you put the card into a mixing bowl, and I have it on my lap, and I have the star wand. And so I mix the magic with all these cards, and sometimes I even wear a crown on my head when I do it. So the kids eat it up. They love it. They think it's the most fabulous thing ever that I'm mixing all these things together. I'm mixing the magic. So in this resource, it talks about how to do this. Okay. And on this anchor chart, I also have all the story elements that I have posted here. So whenever I read the story, I tell them look for all these things in the story. That's your purpose. That is your reason for listening today. See if you can pick out all the story elements. You can also have them make a castle like this to glue in their reader's notebook. You can have them respond with a story that you read, or now that it's the end of the year, you can have them read their own fairy tale story, and then they respond by themselves. Okay? You'll have some kiddos that can definitely do that. Here's some of the templates up close so you can see what they look like. This is the story elements one that I just shared with you. And then here's a first draft. If you choose to have them write their own fairy tale. For writer's workshop, these are the writing, some of the writing templates. Here's about the author. And then here's a final draft one where they color a picture at the top. And they write a sentence at the bottom. Okay? And then we always decorate our neighborhood. In the past, we've decorated it with a castle and have pictures of the kids. We take pictures of the kiddos in front of the castle. I've taken pictures with their hats on, with their books that they published. I mean, all different kinds of things. So you can even use it as a backdrop whenever you and your teachers want to do a play. You could stand in front of the castle. So we had a parent make this one year for us. Isn't it cute? I just love it. And then in the past, we've had a fairy tale ball. We've hosted a fairy tale ball. And so I will tell you that this takes about a month to plan. Okay, so you want to start way ahead of time if you would choose to do this. And this is what we did for our end of the year party. So I send out an invitation that says, "Hear ye, hear ye. We are cordially invited to our fairy tale ball and writing celebration. Please come to our classroom on this date, this time." And so I asked the kids to dress up as their favorite character from their story that they published. So here's my daughter Kennedy right here. She wrote Beauty and the Beast, so she's Beauty. And then this little girl at the bottom, this is my other daughter Presley. She wrote Peter Pan, and she dressed up as Wendy. Okay, so those were my two daughters. And then these other kiddos, one is the Snow Queen, one is Puss in Boots, one is Jack and the Beanstalk, and they dress up as their favorite character. And so then we make I have a parent make a castle cake. So I ask one of my parents that I know loves to bake, and she makes a castle cake, and then all the kids bring in refreshments for our party. But here's the thing, their refreshments have to go along with their story. So for example, if they wrote Little Red Riding Hood, they can bring bread in a basket or banana bread. If they wrote Jack and the Beanstalk, they can bring celery sticks. Okay? If they wrote the Snow Queen, they can bring iced cookies. You see what I'm saying? So their refreshment goes along with their story. Okay? So we have a whole big spread of food. And so the parents come in and they get to sit around the kids, and they rotate around and they listen to everybody read their story. In the back of the story is a compliment page, and so they write a compliment for each of the kiddos after they read their story, and so they have the compliments for the rest of their life. They keep this book, hopefully. And then afterwards we have our refreshments, and this is our end of the year party. It is so fabulous and it's so fun. The parents love this. They absolutely eat it up. They love it. So I do have a blog post that and a podcast episode all about this, and I go into more detail about how to set it up and how to invite the parents and how to get the kids ready and how to go through the writing process. So if you're interested, you can check that out too. And then we're going to go on to Rocks and Fossils. Okay, so like I said, this week I'm going to start Rocks and Fossils in my room. And these are some of the mentor texts that I love to read. Let's Go Rock Collecting, Rocks and Minerals, Dirt, The Scoop on Soil, Rocks, Hard, Soft, Smooth, and Rough, Wiggling Worms at Work, Planet Earth Inside and Out by Gail Gibbons, The Magic School Bus, Inside the Earth, Oh, the Lavas That Flow. So these are some good mentor texts. And this is my theme center. This is what I have up right now, actually. I just took a picture of it yesterday, or Friday. And so I have the geologist up here. We talk about what a geologist is, and then we talk about the layers of the earth, the layers of the soil, and the 3 types of rocks: igneous, metamorphic, sedimentary, and then we have examples. And then I have so many rocks to display that I've collected over the years. So I tell them the top shelf is just for you to look, not to touch. And then at the bottom, I have all these different rocks they can look at and they can touch at the bottom. I have a puzzle of a volcano. I have lots of books they can read. And so just lots of fun and engaging things about rocks and fossils. They absolutely love rocks and fossils. Oh my gosh. They'll go out to recess and they'll start picking up rocks and showing me, Miss Rickman, what kind of rock is this? And so sometimes they'll actually get some flint, which is really cool. And so it just creates an awareness of the different kinds of rocks and fossils and then what goes on inside the earth. And so these are some engaging things that I do. First of all, I have them make a pet rock. So we go out to recess, go out to the playground, we find a pet rock, we paint it, and we decorate the pet rock and we put googly eyes on it. So this pet rock can sit on their desk for the whole rock unit. They can keep it on their desk. Only if they take care of it, though. Okay? It's kind of like my desk pet. If you don't take care of it, I'm going to babysit it. Or you can have them make inside of the earth with Play-Doh. So this is really fun. You need red, yellow, green, and blue Play-Doh. And you start by the red ball in the middle, in the center. And then you have them put the yellow ball around the red ball. And then the green ball around the yellow. And then the blue around the green. And so then you can take a piece of dental floss. And then you cut it in half. And then you open it up. And it shows the layers of the earth. How cool is that? They love this. This is so awesome. So then after they make this, of course, they can take it home. This would be probably one of my Fahrenheit Friday experiments, investigations that I like to do. And so then you can write about it, or you can draw a picture or a diagram and label the parts of the earth. And then we talk about volcanoes a lot because igneous rocks come from volcanoes. Different rocks, sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous, they graph them and they sort them, the pictures, and then we write about them. And then, of course, I have examples of each of these rocks that I can show them. They can touch them. They can observe them with a hand lens. So lots of fun, engaging things. And this one is the rock cycle. The rock cycle is really, really fascinating, actually. It shows the different part of the rock cycle and about how rocks change over time from metamorphic. The heat makes metamorphic, and the magma, the igneous, the sediment, and the sedimentary. So how it goes in a cycle. So it's really fun. Then you can also have them do soil, which is really fun. You could read the soil book, or it's called Dirt, the Scoop on Soil. And then you can show them the layers of the soil. You can have them make a dirt cup, okay? They can eat it. So what you need to do is, you can look right here. You need chocolate chips for the bottom. It's the bedrock, okay? And then you need pudding, chocolate pudding, the second layer. And then you need the Oreo cookies. You can just like break up Oreo cookies and put them in there on the third layer. And then the top layer is the coconut that is dyed green. So you just need to take a bag of coconut, put green food coloring in there, shake, 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 and then you've got green coconut for grass. And then I give them the gummy worms to put on top of the grass, okay? So cute and so fun, okay? So you could have them eat that for Fahrenheit Friday, or you can have them make a project that shows the different layers of the soil. What's in the soil? Tiny rocks, bugs and worms, twigs, water, dead grass, dead bugs, and have them make a craft that goes along with it. This is my poetry center, because I have a poetry center, and I switch it out every week with a poem. The poem always goes with my thematic unit. So this is my old volcano poem. And so this is a poem that is actually a song. It's to the tune of Are You Sleeping? Old volcano is asleep, is asleep. Shh, now don't you wake him, shh, now don't you wake him. He's asleep, he's asleep. So I re-sing the poem. And guys, at this time of year, I've done these poems every single week. Okay, every single week. So every week we talk about the periods, the capitals, the question marks, the exclamation points, all the punctuation. We also talk about the parts of speech, the nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, the pronouns, prepositions. My kids are so good at picking out all these things. They can talk about the poem all by themselves. So I just sit back and I'm not leading it anymore. I'm not showing them where those things are anymore in the poem. They read it themselves. They get a partner and they discuss. They count how many periods, how many capitals, how many question marks did you see? Are there any rhyming words? And they talk about everything by themselves. It's fabulous. It's so great to hear their conversations. And then they talk about their visual image that they're going to color. They're going to talk about what they're going to illustrate in their poetry notebook. They do it all. They do it all by themselves. It's fabulous. So this is a really engaging thing for your kids to do by themselves. So you have to train them. You know, all year you're training them what each part of speech is, what each punctuation means. But then by the end of the year, they know about all this stuff. And hopefully they have talked about it. They've seen it so many times, and it just comes as second nature now. So they can pick them out really easily. So if you don't have a poetry center, you might want to add a poetry center for next year. This is so fun and so engaging. And then during my center time, they can come to the center. They read poems. I have lots of poetry books they can read. I have my focus poem journal there with all my examples of poems that they can look at. They write their very own poem. And of course, I train them at the very beginning of the year. And so in the boot camp, I'm going to be sharing with you how I do that. Okay? So again, poetry is so fun. It also helps with rhyming, with intonation, with fluency, and their confidence. Okay? So they have to illustrate a picture that's about the poem, and then I tell them to highlight certain words in the poem. So let's say that I just taught them about onomatopoeia. If there's an onomatopoeia in the poem, they highlight it. If I just taught them about prepositions that week, because we do this on Fridays. So the whole week I'm talking about a new skill, and then on Fridays they highlight it in the poem. So it's connecting different ways to be aware of that kind of word, okay? Not just in stories, but in poetry as well, okay? So if you're interested in my resource about my Focus Poetry bundle, you can click on the picture here, and it's also in the Rockin' Inside the Earth resource also, okay? So these are some fun activities and science investigations you can also do with rocks. So I put out some rocks on my teacher table, so I call them back to my teacher table. And I used to do science centers where I do different centers every day. I had a journal one day. Different groups had different centers. It's kind of like when you do math stations and each table has a different center. I did science centers that way, but that was when I had more time for science. I don't really have that much time anymore, so I really can't do the center part, but hopefully next year I can. Because it was really, really beneficial. They really loved the science centers. And so they looked at the different kinds of rocks. They organized them. They wrote adjectives about them at my teacher table. And I have these rock kits right here that they look at. They can look at these in my science center or my theme center. And then we did a volcano experiment. So you get those solo cups, the coffee solo cups, and you cut out the top. And so then you put in vinegar and then baking soda, and then you watch it explode. And they just absolutely love this. So fun. So my Fahrenheit Friday is my Fridays where I do science investigations. I have lab coats. So the captain of the table, they put on the lab coat, and then they do the experiment for the whole table. And then they have to do a science template. They have to do something that they write with, or they color or draw or label or something from the investigation, and then they glue into their science notebook. Okay? Lots of fun things for rocks and fossils. So these are texts for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up soon, so these are some fun books you can read. I absolutely love 5 Minutes Peace. If you don't have this book, it is so funny. So this is about this mama elephant. She's trying to take a bath, and she's trying to have alone time, but her kids kept interrupting her. I think we can all relate to that. And so she just says, I just want 5 minutes of peace. Okay? And so her kids just won't leave her alone. It is so cute. The best Mother's Day ever, the night before Mother's Day, is your mama a llama. Mommy, Mama, and Me, Love You Forever. Mother's Day by Anne Rockwell. A Chair for My Mother. Llama Llama Home with Mama. Lots of llama books with mamas. So if you haven't noticed yet, in my Facebook group, I posted a video of my new Tea Time Mother's Day Writing Center. Okay. So I do have a YouTube video that's attached to this picture. So afterwards, if you want to watch the video, I'm not going to have you watch it right now because I've already have way too much to show you. But this is my Tea Time Writing Center. So every month I switch out my writing center that goes with the month or holiday. My kids absolutely love this center, and they actually argue over who gets to go to the center because only one can go at a time. And each week they rotate to another center. But I have 4 kids that can go to this center per week. So every day I try to make sure that a new one gets to go. But they argue, I want to go to the writing center this time. Okay, so they can write a postcard. They can write an invitation to Mother's Day tea party. They can write a shape book, which is a Mother's Day teacup, tea kettle. They can write a sticker story. They can write a Mother's Day card to their mom. They can write a how-to story, how to make tea. They can write a poem, write a list. They can write a letter. And so in the YouTube video, I go over more detail with my writing center, but you can click on the video and you can watch it later. And so I'm super excited about this writing center. You might want to check it out if you haven't. And then I have a kitchen center for May that has Mother's Day tea time, how to plant a flower, how to plant a garden in my kitchen center. So my kitchen center is a procedural writing center. Everything that I do in my room is related to writing. Everything goes back to writing. Writing is cross-curricular in my room. Okay, so whatever they make in the kitchen center, they have to write about it. They have to write first, then next, and last. Okay, so you can see the different trays I have here. Here's my how-to pages. So they're going to either do how to plant a flower or how to make a tea party for mom. They can make vegetables. They can cut them in half for fractions. Here's my stove. And then they can make a flower pot. So I got those little silver farmhouse buckets. And then I got the dome foam that I stuck in there. And so they can stick flowers in there, artificial flowers, and they can make a flower pot. I also have the gloves, the garden gloves they can use when they're making their flower pot. I have a flower garden that's a plastic flower garden they can make. Or I have a tea party. That is a wooden tea party from Melissa and Doug that I got from Amazon. So a lot of this stuff I got from Amazon. And then anything that they make, they have to make sure they undo it. Whenever center time is over, they have to put it back into the right tray to clean up. And I teach them all of this at the beginning of the year. And then whenever center time is over, I look to see who has the best, cleanest center for bonus bucks. So this really helps them be accountable to clean up their center, because I tell them, you don't want to go to a messy center. Whenever you're going to a center, do you want your center to be messy from the other person? No. So you want it to be clean, right? You want it to be nice and clean and organized so you can find what you need. So this also has a YouTube video that you can click on and watch later, and I'll give you a tour. Okay. So one of my favorite books to read for Mother's Day is A Chair from My Mother. I love A Chair from My Mother. And so they can write about their chair, their favorite chair. They can write first, then next, then last. And I also love to put vocabulary words from the story that I made vocabulary cards. I cut them apart and I put them on my pocket chart. So we read the words before the story so they kind of get an idea of what the words are going to be that they may not know. And so then after the story's over, we talk about what the words mean. Talk about the vocabulary cards. And then they can use these vocabulary cards in their story. And then they can do any of these worksheets that are interactive notebooks. They can do cause and effect. They can do visualizing. And then there's some math worksheets they can do for different numbers. They can make different number sentences for 5 and 8 and 6 and 10. And then I have a workbook cover. So if you want to make a workbook full of all the different pages, most of my resources have a workbook cover that you can make if you want to make a booklet. Okay? So those are just some great ideas for A Chair from My Mother. And then there's some Mother's Day crafts that you can do. Normally we plant sunflowers. Like we just planted sunflowers last Friday. And so the sunflowers are going to be my Mother's Day gift this year. But then we decorate their cups with these tissue squares. So we just have a little tub of glue. And then they put the tissue squares, they dip the tissue squares into the glue, and then they decorate their cup. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a paper mache cup full of tissue squares, and it looks so cute. It's beautiful. So different color squares they can choose from. Before we planted sunflowers many years ago, I had them make a bouquet with flowers from construction paper, but now we've planted the sunflowers because it also goes with our plant unit that we do. So we try to connect things together, combine things together as much as we can. Work smarter, not harder, right? That's my whole motto. And then you could have them make a placemat if you want to. Have them make a flower pot placemat, and then they can write about their mom or their grandma or their aunt or their stepmom or their mother figure in their life. They draw a picture of them. They color their favorite color, their favorite flower, their favorite food, what they love about their mom, or you could have them write about how to make a Mother's Day tea party for their mom, and they can make a tea kettle and then write first, then next, and last. That would be super fun. Or you can have them write just me and my mom, and they can draw a picture of themselves at the top for a topper, and then write a story about their mom, what their mom likes, or just color pictures of what she looks like, her favorite color, her favorite food, her favorite flower, etc., etc. So that's in the My Mother's Day resource. You can click on the picture here. Here are some of the templates that you can use for that's in this resource about their grandma or their mom or their aunt. They can write an acrostic poem. If you want to put an acrostic poem on their placemat, there's different options, different templates that you can choose from. And then if you want to make a Mother's Day tea party, you can host a Mother's Day tea party and have the kids serve their mom or grandma or their aunt. And so you can have cookies, you can have tea, or lemonade, whatever you want to do, and have a little tea party. You can cover their desks with butcher paper. I like to have the pink, the pastels, pink, blue, yellow. And so then they can make a book. There's a book that's called If You Give a Mom a Muffin. It's kind of like a spin-off of If You Give a Moose a Muffin. So they can color that book together while they sit there. And then the kids actually serve their mom at their desk. Okay, so their mom sits down, the kids get up, and they serve their mom with the cookies and the punch or the tea or whatever they want. And so they are coloring the book together, they're eating their refreshments together, and then this is Kennedy and I, whenever she was in my class, and we took pictures together. You want to have a picture together that they can put into a picture frame to make for their mom if you want. So it's just a really fun way to engage with the moms. And if they don't have a mom figure, you can invite their grandma or their aunt or their stepmom or dad. If dad can come, that's fine. We had some dads come also. So that's a really fun way to celebrate Mother's Day. All right, so moving on to oceans and sea life, okay? So after I do rocks and fossils, at the very, very end of school, we do oceans and sea life. This is just like a fun end-of-year way to wrap up science, okay? So we read, we'll wish for a fish, down deep in the deep blue sea, over in the ocean, oh, what I wonder why the sea is salty, Mr. Seahorse, the magic school bus on the ocean floor, the rainbow fish, of course, and the ocean, commotion in the ocean. So those are some of my favorites. This is my ocean theme center. It's kind of like the rock and fossils one. So I tell them on the top shelf, all the shells on the top, don't touch. Just look with your eyes. And then I have different shells they can look at the bottom. I have plastic sharks, plastic whales, plastic fish, plastic seahorse, plastic shells they can use to count with, books, puzzles, all different kinds of engaging things they can look at for oceans and sea life. And then I have a poster that I made that's in the resource. It's called Ocean Commotion. And all of these different things, I copied them on colored paper, and then I laminated them, and I put them on my bulletin board. So it has all the different ocean creatures that they can look at that are under the ocean. So just a really fun way to wrap up the school year. These are some craftivities that I've made for oceans and sea life. This is the freebie that you guys can download today if you want to. So look in the comments, scroll up to the very, very top of the comments, and you'll see a Google Drive link. And this is a freebie for you guys that are showing up live today. Okay, so you can download this if you want. We make lap books, and so I usually spend a week on a week of whales and a week of sharks if I have time. And they can choose if they want to research a whale or a shark. Okay, and they can choose which kind of whale or which kind of shark they want to do. So this one was the dolphin, and then this one was the, what is it, tiger shark. You can make a lap book, and so all the research templates that they write, you can staple inside the lap book. I love making lap books. You can also make a lap book about shells. They can pick a type of shell to write about and research. Or you can have them research seahorses. Seahorses are fascinating. You can have them do that. If you read the rainbow fish, you can talk about his feelings, and then you can have them make fish around the rainbow fish of different feelings that he had. How did the feelings change from beginning to end? Or you can have them do an ocean food chain that is kind of like a sequencing foldable, but you turn it up and down instead of across, and staple it, and so they can open it up and then show the different parts of the food chain, the ocean food chain. Okay? Or you can have them write about the sequence of the rainbow fish. Okay? So you could have them decorate the front of the sequencing foldable with the starfish and the rainbow fish. Excuse me. And then you can have them color the pictures on the inside. Excuse me. Okay, and then you can have them do I wonder questions or theme. Theme is really good for this story. Sequence of events. Characterization is also really good for this story. And then if I were the rainbow fish, they could write a story about what they would do differently. Here's another interactive notebook of the ocean food chain. So this is all in my ocean commotion thematic unit. Then they can color the picture of the food chain. They can label the different parts. You can also have them do math. You can have them write math stories about fish. Write math stories about whales, about sharks, about goldfish. Lots of different things. You can also have them do focus poem about whales. So here's my poem. This is Kennedy, and when she was in first grade. This is her focus poem notebook. And again, they at this point of the year, like I said, my kids can discuss all the punctuation by themselves. I'm not leading the focus poem anymore. It's a shared reading, but they're doing it by themselves now. It's totally student-led, okay? And so that's what the rubric for rigor and relevance says, that the more that students lead the directions, the discussion, the conversation, the higher the score will be on your rigor and relevance. So I'm trying to step back now, because they know how to do all this now. And so they're able to pick out all the periods, all the capitals, all the rhyming words, the nouns, the verbs, the adjectives. And hopefully they'll remember all this for second grade. I hope. Fingers crossed, right? So anyway, those are my poems for ocean and sea life. And so this is my research book. If you want to research whales, Gail Gibbons has fabulous stories about whales and sharks. So here's my research book. You could spend one day, each day, about a different whale. They write the habitat, they draw habitat, they draw the diet, and they write 2 facts about that whale. And they have an author page at the end. This could also be done during writer's workshop if you choose to have them write or research during writer's workshop. This is another option that you can have them do. Or you could have them research a shark, different sharks. So this is another booklet that they can do. So they can pick a different shark. You pick a different shark every day, draw the habitat and the diet and the facts. Okay? So if you don't want to do fairy tales for writer's workshop, then you can do research for writer's workshop with whales, sharks, seahorses, shells, whatever you want to do. Here's some fun investigations you can have them do. I know a lot of you guys already have lots of shells. You guys go to the beach a lot if you live close to the coast. And so take your shells, put them in a basket, and then pass out your shells to the kids. Have them observe the shell with a hand lens, and then they can write about their shell. They can write if it's a univalve or bivalve. They can write how does it smell? How does it look? What are the adjectives? Describe it. How does it feel? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it jaggy? Does it have jagged edges? So that's a really good fun investigation. Or you could have them make an ocean in a jar. Now, this project is is kind of tricky because if you choose to use the baby food jars, they're glass. So if they drop on the floor, they will break, okay? Or if you want to have them use a plastic cup instead with a plastic lid, that probably would be better. So if it drops, it won't break. So you could have them put gravel at the bottom, make a little aquarium, make a little terrarium, and then they pick out a plastic whale or shark or fish. And then they put the plastic animal in the jar. You could put blue food coloring in the jar to make the water blue. And then you could get one of those little aquarium plants from Walmart or the pet store, and then you cut them apart so they have a little branch of an aquarium plant. Put the plants in there, and they could have their own ocean in a jar. Fun. You can also have them investigate whales and sharks. So you take your whales and sharks that you have, if you have some, put them around the room in different stations. They get their clipboard, and then they have a template of different boxes that they're going to illustrate their different whales and sharks. And they go around the room and they illustrate them, they label them, and they can compare the different whales and sharks. And that's a really good investigation. Okay, so we're going to have our second winner for... Okay, so Kendra Grist Rogers. Kendra, you are my second winner. Congratulations, Kendra. Yay! So you're going to win either the fairy tale writing unit, or you can win Ocean Commotion unit, or you can win Rockin' Inside the Earth. Okay? So congratulations to you, Kendra. Yay! All right, so moving on to end of the year. Okay, so, thank you, Brandy. You're welcome, Kendra. Awesome. Okay, so these are some end of the year mentor texts. You could read Yay You, which is by Sandra Boynton. This is a great story about moving out, moving up, and moving on. Or The Night Before Kindergarten Graduation, The Sky is the Limit, The Wonderful Things You Will Be, The North Star. Absolutely love The North Star by Peter Reynolds. Love it. I Wish You More, Bernstein Bears Graduation Day, Only One You, and Oh, the Places That You'll Go. So these are some end of the year activities that you can do for a countdown, or end of the year activities in general. Okay, these are some things that I have seen other teachers do, or I have done. Okay, so of course you can have a graduation ceremony if you teach kindergarten and you want to have a graduation ceremony with their caps and gowns. Go for it. Okay, you could have an award ceremony. You could have a red carpet or an Oscar night, which would be fun with certificates for graduation. You can have a virtual slideshow, or if you have parents that are in your room for the end of the year party, make a slideshow of pictures of the year from what activities and field trips and assemblies that y'all have had for the year. You could have a picnic. We have a first grade picnic, which is so easy. So the kids just bring a sack lunch and they bring a beach towel, and we get bubbles for them to play with. And so we go outside. We have our picnic outside, of course, in the shade, because by that time it's very hot here in Texas. And so you could also give them popsicles during their picnic. That is super fun. And that's going to be like the very last day of school. And then after the picnic's over, they can go home early. So it's really fun. You could have a fairy tale ball. I already showed you how to do a fairy tale ball earlier. You could have an outside bubble party. You could have a t-shirt signing day, a yearbook signing day, board games, or game day. So I have a board game day. And so on our last day of school, we have board games and a picnic. So you can combine some things together if you need to. But the kids bring a board game. And so in the morning, after announcements are over, we spend about an hour or hour and a half or so playing board games, because at that point, I'm trying to take down my classroom and trying to get ready to end the year, because we don't have very long to take down our classroom. So while they're playing board games, I'm taking down my classroom. Okay. And some of the kids will want to help me. So that's really helpful too, that they want to help. You could have a memory book day where they make a memory book, and I have different pages that I'll show you in just a minute for my memory book. You can do an ABC countdown. I know lots of teachers love to do that. You can have a balloon countdown. So you could have balloons along your hallway or in your classroom, and then you pop them as the days go on with a countdown on it. Or you could have a paper chain countdown. Make each kid has a paper chain that you connect together, and then you take off a chain as the days go down. You could have a splash party with sprinklers. You could have a luau party. You could have a parade. If the kids dress up as their fairy tale character, you could have a parade through the whole school to show off their fairy tale costumes. You can have a dance party. You can have a field day. You can have an ice cream party. So any of these things you can combine together for lots of fun and excitement. So, and get your parents to help you. You don't have to do all this by yourself. Get some parents to help you set this up, coordinate it, buy your bubbles, or get your ice cream if you want to have ice cream. So there's ways that you can do it. One of my most favorite books, like I said, is The North Star by Peter Reynolds. This is a story about a little boy who makes a journey to the end of where he wants to go. He has an end in mind, but along the way he has a lot of obstacles. And that's true in any life. Any time that you have a journey, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have your ups and downs. And so this school year is a good way to reflect about that. What were some things that were struggles for you? What were some challenges for you? What was your greatest moment this year? What was your highest achievement this year? What were you most proud of this year? So after you read The North Star, they can write about their favorite memories, or their journey that they took from beginning to end of their kindergarten, first grade, second grade year. Okay. So again, I have these vocabulary cards that you can introduce, like the word journey or traveled or voyage, clearing, hurry, thoughts, path, purred, silent, tangled, all these different words that are in the story. And then you could have them learn those different vocabulary words. That's important. So this is a craftivity that they can make that has the open book, and then all the stars and the confetti is coming out of the book, because actually in every grade they're learning to be better readers also. So they've achieved learning how to read better. Hopefully, that's our goal, right? So this is you can click on the link here and it'll take you straight to the resource. You can also have them do a graduation celebration. You can have them make their cap and diploma here. You can give them a diploma that looks like this. It says congratulations to, and then you write their name for completing kindergarten or first grade or second grade or third grade. I have, I believe, 3 or 4 different grade levels in this resource that you can make. So you just you copy them on cardstock, colored cardstock or white cardstock, whatever you want to do, and then laminate it, and then you give it to them at your graduation party or whenever you want to give your awards out. Okay. And then they can write about what their most proudest moment is, their favorite subject. I know a lot of my kids are going to say writing time. Their favorite teacher, their best friend, their favorite, and then they draw a picture of themselves. What subject was their most challenging subject, and what was their favorite subject. So this is in my resource called Graduation Celebration. Okay. And this is my memory book. We have a memory book. So we talk about here's my teacher, my proudest moment, my favorite field trip, about the author. And so I actually have them do, they work on this about the last week of school, because the very, very, very last week of school has more downtime than the second to the last week, because the second to the last week we have lots of assemblies and guest speakers that come. So the last week of school is when I fill that week up with our memory book. And then they also get a yearbook also if they ordered one. And then we have a signing day. So we all sit in a circle on the carpet. We pass around our books to sign for each other. And that takes up a good 30 minutes or so. Okay? And then these are some fun math activities that you can do at the end of the school year. If you're not familiar with BUMP, I have a resource that has all different month and holidays for BUMP, and you need a double dice so they can add the 2 numbers together. Whatever the sum is, they put their snap cube on top of the sum, and these are my ice cream that I use for the end of the year. And so if they roll the same sum twice, they get to stack their cube. So they get 10 cubes. Whoever uses up all their cubes first wins. If their partner rolls the same sum, and if they only have one cube on their number, they get to bump them off. And they love that. That is so fun. And you can teach this at the very beginning of the year. And then I have all the different templates for all the different months. You can switch them out. They already know how to play this. You just switch it out with a different month or holiday. And then you can switch out their color cubes to match the color of the holiday too. And so you just need a double dice, or you can use 2 dice. They can roll 2 dice together to make a sum. And then this is my Cinderella race to midnight. So if you want to do telling time, they start right here where the shoe is, and then they roll the dice, however many they go. They land on a clock, and whatever time the clock says, I have a cheat sheet that says if you land on this time, you lose a turn. If you land on this time, you go twice. You gain a turn. Or if you land on this time, then you go back 2 spaces. And so whoever gets to midnight first, who finishes first, wins. So that's a Cinderella game that is in my Cinderella Story Companion. Okay? So if you're in my email list, I sent out my newsletter this morning. In my newsletter, my dollar deal today is my Cinderella Story Companion. And so this game is in that Cinderella packet. Okay? All right. Then you could also do some end of the year addition subtraction fun with these mats. These are math mats that I created for each month and holiday. This is the ocean one, the fairy tale one, and the rocks and fossils one. Okay? So what you do is you can use plastic erasers. You can use fish erasers, plastic fish, small little crowns, plastic jewels. You can use Swedish fish, shells, plastic dinosaurs, whatever you want to have them engage in to make addition, subtraction problems. And you can differentiate it to meet the needs of your kids. Debbie, I see your question. Why don't you use 11 and 12 on the bump boards? That's a really good question. So here's the reason. So in the clip art that I created, that I found, they didn't have 11 and 12. So the free space that you see at the top is 11 and 12. So I tell them if you land on 11 or 12, then you can use the free space. And I don't know why the clip art did not go to 11 and 12. Honestly, I don't know why. So I just had to come up with another solution for that. But that's a great question, Debbie. Thank you for asking. So this is another resource that you could click on if you wanted to. It is my addition and subtraction math mats. So I'm going to change gears here, and I'm going to talk about my membership. Okay. So a lot of you guys that are watching today have already signed up for my membership. So you guys can comment on anything that you like about it or something that you wish that it had, because I'm always looking for suggestions. Okay. So do planning lessons give you night sweats? Yes. Are you tired of staying up late on the evenings and staying up late and not spending times with your family and spending too much time in your classroom? So I have all of these lesson plans already done for you. So what if I told you all of your lesson plans, materials, anchor charts, interactive notebooks were all already made for you? All you had to do was print them out. And so they don't give you night sweats anymore, because I know that the Sunday scaries, like today, the Sunday scaries are real. That's a real thing, okay? And so I have a free cross-curricular lesson plan that you can sign up for ocean and sea life, okay? And this is free. So these are 5 lessons, okay? I have 5 lessons that you can choose from. So we're going to watch a quick video of my free cross-curricular lesson plans. So what I'm going to do is, after the webinar's over, I'm going to link it here for you guys, okay? So if you want to sign up for this, you are welcome to, and you're going to join my email list, okay? So Tamara, you said, how do I get the newsletter? If you are on my email list, and I'm not sure, Tamara, if you're on my email list, but if you sign up for this cross-curricular lesson plan, then you can also be on my newsletter list, okay? So I'm going to show you this real quick here.
Hello, fabulous teachers. This is Kara Rickman from Create Your Balance with Literacy. Let's learn all about ocean and sea life with free cross-curricular lesson plans. These lesson plans include objectives, suggested mentor text, anchor charts, skill cards, interactive notebooks, and writing craftivities. For Reader's Workshop, the objective is I can read and identify the author's purpose. For Writer's Workshop, the objective is I can research and write facts about sharks. For Focus Poetry, the objective is I can visualize and create a mental image for my poem. For Math Workshop, the objective is I can write a story problem and a number sentence using addition academic vocabulary. And for Science, the objective is I can identify and describe the steps of the ocean food chain. All of this can be yours if you sign up on my email list, and you can get your freebies immediately. Let's take your classroom to the next level. Until next time, bye-bye.
Okay, so give me a second, because I am going to link the link here for you guys to sign up for the free lesson plans. Hold on one second here, okay? So I'm linking it in the comments for you guys, okay? Okay, so hopefully that'll come up in just a second. So you can click on the link, and it's called Creative Hustler, I think. Hopefully it comes up in a second. But this is the reading run. So you're going to read the Rainbow Fish, and it's got the objective already there for you. It's got the suggested mentor text, and it has the interactive notebook, and it has the anchor chart. So this is for Reader's Workshop. This is just one lesson. And then this is Writer's Workshop. This is one lesson. So you have your mentor text, which is about sharks. And then you have your interactive notebook. Sharks can have R. And then you have your nonfiction anchor chart. Okay? And the objective at the top. And then for poetry, you can have one of my poems about whales. And so it has the interactive notebook in there. It has the anchor chart, and it has the objective for poetry. And then for math, excuse me, for math, it has a fish out of water. I love that story. And then they're going to write their own word problem using fish in their fishbowl. Okay, so that's one thing you can do for that. And then their objective is at the top, and then you have a vocabulary addition and subtraction anchor chart that they can use for their story problem. And then for science, it has I can identify and describe the food chain of the ocean. Okay. So it has the food chain that they can color. All right. Or if you just want to go all in, guys, if you want to skip the freebies and you want to go all in, you can have all of these engaging lessons already laid out for you in my membership. So I posted yesterday that I had finished my Ocean and Sea Life unit for my membership besties. And so if you're already in the membership, this is already in there, and I just posted it yesterday. Okay, so if you sign up today for my membership, you can get a free ocean mentor text for your ocean unit. So these are your choices if you sign up today. So the Rainbow Fish you can get for your classroom, and I will send it to you from Amazon, or Swimmy, or What Lives in a Shell, or Who Eats What, or Big Owl, or Sharks or Whales, and the Magic School Bus on the ocean floor. So this has 40 lessons for the whole thematic unit already laid out for you. Okay, so if you're interested in signing up for my membership, this is what you're going to get. Okay.
Hey teacher friends, this is Kara Rickman from Create Your Balance with Literacy. How about some exclusive cross-curricular lesson plans about oceans and sea life? These 40 lesson plans include suggested mentor text, anchor charts, writing captivities, interactive notebooks, and vocabulary and skill cards. For Reader's Workshop, the objective is I can identify and describe the author's purpose, story elements, main idea, theme, and text connections. For Writer's Workshop, the objective is I can research and write facts about sharks and whales. For Math Workshop, the objective is I can write story problems using addition and subtraction vocabulary. For Science, the objective is I can identify and describe the ocean habitat and animal adaptations. If you sign up today for my membership, you will receive a free mentor text of your choice for your ocean unit. How fabulous is that? All of this could be yours if you sign up today. Let's take your classroom to the next level. Bye-bye.
Okay, so what is the cost for the membership? So level one, I have two levels. Okay, so level one is $10 a month. You get access to all of my TPT products that I've ever made. That's 400 plus TPT resources, all from my TPT store. And I always post my newest resources on the membership first. So you guys have first access of it before it goes on my store. Okay. You also have access to all my new webinars that I've ever made. So every month I update all the webinars. Okay. So the membership is categorized, it's organized by month. Okay. So for example, this is going to be May. And so after I'm done with my webinar, I'm going to upload my new webinar into the membership. You can have this forever, okay? It doesn't stay in the Facebook group, okay? So it goes into the membership. So you can always rewatch it whenever you want. You also have YouTube videos. Any new YouTube videos I make, I post in the membership, plus all the exclusive lesson plans that I make every month, okay? And I'll share with you what I have so far. Then my podcast is also up there in the membership that you can watch anytime. So that's level one. That's $10. And then level two is $15. It's the same thing as level one, except that you have 2 courses plus any new courses that I make. Each course is worth 6 CPE hours worth of PD professional development. So my 2 courses that I have are Writer's Workshop and Math Workshop. And the boot camp that I'm going to be giving this summer is also going to be a course that I'm going to be adding to the membership later on, okay? So any new course that I make, I add to the membership. You also have a private Kajabi community that I'm going to start doing with coaching calls, okay? So my coaching calls, it's going to be something new that I'm going to be adding. So I haven't really done those yet. So after the summer is over, during the summer, I'm going to be adding those to the membership. And then my podcast, my webinars, exclusive lesson plans, all of the TPT products that I've ever made, you have unlimited access. You can access them anytime you want to, guys, okay? So what does the membership include? 400 plus resources, such as 58 back-to-school resources, a year-long poetry bundle for the whole year. Okay, 120 linking literature resources. That means all the story companions that I've ever written. 23 math workshop resources, games and activities, anchor charts, interactive notebooks. 47 science investigation resources. Okay, 6 author study units. That includes Kevin Hinks, Laura Nemiroff, Patricia Polacco, Jan Brett, Tama DePaula, and Peter Reynolds. Okay, 19 Reader's Workshop and Reader's Theater resources, exclusive cross-curricular units. So these are the units that I have in there so far. Back to School, Apples, Owls, and Bats, Native American Customs, Winter, Christmas Around the World, Objects in the Sky, President American Symbols, Spring, Rainforest, and Ocean and Sea Life. Because that was the new one I just put in there. And then, of course, if you have a farmhouse theme, all of my decor that I've ever made is farmhouse. So it's all in there as well. All of the membership includes all of these webinars, and I update them every month. So like I said, every webinar that I've made, I upload and I replace it with the old one. Writer's Workshop, Reader's Workshop, Math Workshop, Literacy Centers, Teaching Cross-Curricular, Creative Fun for Back to School, and then all the months of the year that I'm giving, like these right here. And then Fairy Tale Writing, Procedural Writing, Nonfiction Writing, Literature Circles, Behavior Management Reboot, Focus Poetry, Guided Reading and Writing, and Fahrenheit Friday, which is my science investigations. Okay? These are my 2 courses that are in the level 2. Okay? And so the first course is From Scribbles to Stories. So the level 2 people already have this already in there. If you complete each course, you get 6 CPE hours of credit that I can give you. I'm CPE certified. So just let me know when you're finished, and I can look at on my end, I can see if you have finished it or not. And then how to launch Math Workshop from day 1, the first 5 days of Math Workshop. Actually, no, it's 10, the first 10 days. And then I give you how I set up my stations, my teacher table, my journal, my Math Workshop model that I use, how to differentiate your math tubs, how to use the data that you have from your assessments to group your kids from your teacher table. All those things for math, okay? And then same with Writer's Workshop, the first 10 days of Writer's Workshop, how to teach them the I do, the we do, and the you do, okay? So that's in level 2. This value is $500, but you get it for $180, plus you get a free book for your classroom. So if you sign up today, guys, you can get a free book. Like I said, one of the ocean books that I showed you in the slide, okay? And guys, after 14 days, if you're not satisfied, I will give you your money back, guaranteed, okay? And so that is my promise to you. If you would like to unsubscribe, you can unsubscribe anytime you want to, okay? So if you want PD credit for today, like I said, I'm CPE certified, okay? Message me on Facebook Messenger after the webinar is over, and I will give you a certificate. Just make sure that you tell me your full name, and I have my CPE number on the certificate, okay? So today we're going to have an hour and a half of CPE credit. And then this is the time for you guys to ask me any questions that you want to ask. If you want to ask me a question about my membership or my boot camp, now is the time to ask, and I'll answer you before I get off right here. Or if you have a question about any of the units that I shared or activities that I shared. And so if you just give me a quick second, I'm going to find the, I'm going to link the link for the Kajabi for my membership. Okay. So I'm going to take this off real quick, and I'm going to link the Kajabi one for the membership. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. This is the time. So give me a second here. Okay, so if you look in the comments, okay, if you look in the comments, it should be, there should be a link that says Kajabi membership, okay? It says Kajabi membership subscription. So if you want to click on that, you can look at my membership, okay? Or if you want to sign up for my free lesson plans, I don't know why it has this so many times on there, but you can sign up for my free lesson plans also for the ocean and sea life, okay? So those are 2 links that you can look at. If you scroll all the way back to the top of the comments, you can also get your free download of the ocean under the sea, okay? So that's those links are there for you guys in case you want to get them, okay? So if anybody has any questions. Oh, Brandy, I'm so glad that you love the membership. It is such a beneficial resource. Yay, that's awesome. And then Tamara, I think I answered your question about how to get on the newsletter. So if you click on the one that says the free cross-curricular lesson plans and sign up for that, you also can get the newsletter every Sunday, okay? Oh, Janina says, I like to have a glow party. Oh, that's cool. Yes, glow party, that's really fun. Let's see. Anybody else have a question? Oh, my students get so tired of just writing about first, then, next, last. Yes, I know. They do sometimes. They do. So it's good to change things up a bit, right? All right, so we're going to pick a third winner. And let's see. I am going to pick Carol Brown Poole. Carol Brown Poole. So my 3 winners today were Brandy Jones and Kendra Rogers and Carol Poole. Okay, so you guys can choose either the Fairy Tale Writing Unit or the Under the Sea Ocean Commotion unit, or you can choose the Living Rockin' Inside the Earth Rocks and Fossils unit, okay? So let me know in the comments which one you'd like. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I said, if you would like a certificate for today, message me on Facebook Messenger and I'll send it to you for an hour and a half, okay? I love spending this time with you guys. I love to hear your questions and I love to hear your comments. I love sharing my time with you. Please share this Facebook group with your teacher friends. You can invite them in. I would love to have more teachers in my group. If you are interested in the boot camp for the summer, sign up on my wait list. There's a link in the comments. Okay, if you're interested in signing up for the free lesson plans, for the ocean lesson plans, there's a link in the comments. And if you're interested in checking out my membership, there's also a link in the comments, okay? So I have 3 links, or actually 4, because the freebie is also in there too, okay? So if you want to share the boot camp with your teacher friends and have them sign up on the wait list, please do. I will be sending out an email in the next couple of weeks about the boot camp and how to sign up and all that good stuff, okay? So I'd love to see you guys. I won't be giving a free webinar until probably July, because July will be the time when I do the back to school webinar. But if you want to sign up for the boot camp, I will see you in our other Facebook group if you sign up for the boot camp, okay? So I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that you have fun with your kiddos at the end of school. I'll be thinking of you guys, and enjoy your kids and just have fun, okay? All right, until next time, we'll take your classroom to the next level. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.